To the channel. What I'm talking about, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Wealth Builders. I hope everybody had a wonderful and amazing Christmas. For those of you that celebrate Christmas, happy holidays to everybody else. We are 2 days from 2025. Man, when I look back on 2024, guys, it was certainly amazing. A lot of huge things happened in my life. One of the biggest things that happened was the Wealth Builders. We started the Wealth Builders back in April or May of this year. That was a huge milestone for me because I've always wanted a financial community of like-minded people that want to build wealth and want to do it with me. So that right there was humongous. So I just want to say thank you guys again from the bottom of my heart for making my dream come true, which is the Wealth Builders. Another big milestone was my website. Starting my own website and being able to offer financial products and services to the masses. And I gotta say, it's been amazing as well. So two huge things for me that I had on my financial bucket list, and I got them accomplished in 2024. Of course, building wealth, wealth transfer blueprint 1.0, 2.0 was huge as well. Huge year, guys. From the business, huge year. Paper assets, huge year. And most importantly, my health. I'm healthy. The great year, healthy. Was healthy the whole year. So of course I work at it, right? I'm out there, at least 5, 6, 7 days a week, for an hour walking every morning, push-ups, sit-ups, trying to eat healthy, just trying to do my part. So yeah, 2024 was amazing. My family is great. So I've had just an incredible year. And a lot of that is because of you guys. You guys have brought so much purpose and passion to my life from this Wealth Builders that I get up every day and I'm excited about making content for YouTube and for my audience on YouTube. But I'm doubly excited about the Wealth Builders and what 2025 is going to bring for our community. We're going to continue growing because I'm going to be on YouTube 365 days in 2025, Lord's will. Lord's will. As long as I'm healthy, guys, I'm going to be on here 365 days next year. And so guess what? I'm going to be telling people about the Wealth Builders. So we're going to continue to move this thing forward. And again, the nuts and bolts of this whole thing is community, right? It's not bells and whistles. It's not any of that. What it really is about is community and helping one another build wealth. And I see us do that time and time again in the community chat. I see us do it even on the posts that I make on a daily basis. And I even see it a lot in our live streams. This is number 35 in a row. So that tells you guys my commitment to helping you build wealth. My commitment to helping you build wealth is every single day that I wake up and I'm able to, Lord's will, I'm going to be here to help you, right? 35 straight live streams for the Wealth Builders. And I just am so happy with the folks that are a part of it and that be here consistently. So thank you to those that be here every single week. Thank you. Thank you to those that watch the replay. Thank you. Thank you for everybody that participates in the community chat, on the posts. Thank you to all the wonderful folks, hundreds of you guys that have DM'd me on a consistent basis to pick my brain and ask questions. Because who's in charge of your wealth? You are. Not me. I'm not in charge of anybody's wealth but mine, my own. You're in charge of your wealth. You ever heard that saying, the squeaky wheel gets the oil? Yeah, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, right? If you want to build wealth and not be in a situation where, and I don't really like to use this word, but I will, poor, right? Poor can be many different things to many different people, right? It can be a state of mind, right? It can be a state of mind. I just got a poor state of mind. It can be a physical thing where I look, disheveled. I don't look like I've had a shower. It could be that. It could be financial. It can also be, health, right? Your health can be poor. Your finances can be poor. Your attitude can be poor, right? So here's the thing. If you want to be wealthy, stop thinking like a poor person. See what I said? The key word there is thinking. Stop thinking like a poor person. You have to think like a wealthy person. Even if you're not wealthy yet, still think like one. All right? Still think like one. I've told you guys this, and I'll tell you again. 2 things you control every day. 2 things you can control: your attitude and your effort, right? The right attitude, the right effort, I'm thinking like a wealthy person. The wrong attitude, the wrong effort, I'm thinking like a poor person, right? You get to choose every day. When I wake up in the morning, I get to choose. I get to choose. You get to choose. Am I going to think like a wealthy person today and go out and accomplish the things that I know I'm capable of accomplishing? Or am I going to think like a poor person and just make excuses or not believe in myself or not take care of myself, right? I got to take care of the temple. So there's a lot of things when it comes to thinking. We get a choice. We get a choice every day. How can I help myself think like a wealthy person and not a poor person when it comes to building wealth? First thing is you got to get your financial literacy up, guys. I keep telling you guys, you got to prioritize financial literacy. See, wealthy people prioritize financial literacy. They prioritize building wealth. Now, I'm not saying it got to be at the top of your priority list because it's not at the top of mine. But it's in the top 3. It's in the top 3. Top 3 or 4, it's there. God, family, people, wealth. It's in the top 4. Not, I got to go over here and hang out. I got to go play golf. I got to go, No, none of that comes before wealth building. The only 3 things come before wealth building, I just told you: God, my family, and helping people. That's it. Everything else I do in this life comes after building wealth, right? And building wealth is what? That includes my health, because health is wealth. So when I say building wealth, I'm talking about the temple too. Not just my financials, but the temple too, right? So those things go hand in hand, because no health, no wealth. Right? So wealthy people prioritize, right? They keep the main thing the main thing. You think when Mark Zuckerberg was in college and he was in that dorm room working on Facebook, what we know now as Facebook, everybody else was going out to the frat parties. This guy stayed in his dorm. And he did what? He was thinking like a wealthy person. He said to himself, I'm going to give up something right now so I can have everything I want later. How'd that work out for him? Pretty dang on good, huh? You look at any successful person, guys, the blueprint is the same. The blueprint is the same. You're going to give up something right now to have everything you want later. I don't care. You go talk to any self-made millionaire, billionaire, any person that has accomplished anything of any significance in their life. They will tell you they gave up something to do that. You think Usain Bolt, you guys remember him, he was this track guy from Jamaica that won 3 consecutive 100 meters, 200 meters, and the 4x100 in 3, I believe it was 3 different Olympics. Go ask him, did he give up something? Or did he just roll out of bed one morning and became the fastest man in the world and just did that for, I don't know, 12, 15 years, 18 years, however long he did it. He was the best at the top the whole time. Ask him, did he give up something in the beginning so that he could have everything he wanted in the end? I don't care where you go, guys. Go ask Barack Obama, former president of the United States. Ask him, did he give up anything in the beginning in order to get everything he wanted later? Go ask Oprah Winfrey. Ask her, did she give up anything in the beginning to get everything she wanted in the end? Guys, you can go ask any successful person. They're going to tell you the same thing. The blueprint doesn't change. So if you want to be wealthy, start thinking like wealthy people. What do wealthy people do? They prioritize. They keep the main thing the main thing. They don't make excuses. If something goes wrong, okay, that's my fault. I'll do better the next time. Let's move on. See, that's thinking like a wealthy person. Oh, golly, if I just would have got a little bit more sleep, if I just would have a little bit more literacy, nobody taught me anything. Wealthy people don't do that. Wealthy people just go out and learn. And then when they learn, they execute. And if they fail, they get back up and they execute again and don't do the same thing that made them fail the first time. They just don't do it. They learn from their mistakes. We got to be the same way. Right? Think like a wealthy person, not like a poor person. And again, I'm not using poor person as this derogatory term. There are plenty of people out there that are living great, making great money, but got poor thinking, poor attitude towards wealth. There's people out there making $1 million a year, but yet and still they spend $1.1 million a year. That's just a poor way of thinking. That's a bad behavior with money. Right? We gotta take control of our own financial freedom. We gotta take control of it. 2025 is, we got tonight and we got tomorrow. We got less than 48 hours. We're gonna be in 2025. The question is, are you ready? Is your plan in place? Are you going to be thinking like a wealthy person, or are you going to be thinking like a poor person? That's up to you. You control that. Nobody else. You. Your attitude and your effort, you control. You choose which direction you want to go every day. You choose. Question is, what will you choose on January 1? And for the remaining 64 days after that, what are you going to choose? Are you going to wake up every day and say, I choose to be wealthy. I choose to think wealthy and not think poor. I want to think wealthy. I want to be a prioritizer. I want to sit down and I want to prioritize. I want to write it down. I don't want to prioritize and it just be up in here in the filter system. You're going to forget. Prioritize, write it down. Stick it all over your house. Stick it in your car. Put sticky notes everywhere with your priorities on it for 2025. Sit down with your family. And y'all as a family come up with some priorities for 2025. Just a little FYI, folks. If y'all are with people who ain't on the same page as you when it comes to this wealth thing, that's tough. That's a problem. As my man Stephen A. Smith likes to say, that's a problem. That is a problem if you and your spouse, your partner, your children, whoever is in your nucleus, if y'all ain't on the same page, man, that's a problem. See, that's not thinking like the wealthy. You go look at the wealthy, they all on the same page. They're on the same page. You got to be on the same page with your family or with whoever's in your nucleus. You do. So let's think wealthy. We don't want to think poor. We want to prioritize, and we want to make sure that those priorities are written down and we reaffirm them, confirm them every single day, every single night. I would challenge you guys in the morning when you get up, take 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and recommit to those priorities. If you're in the mirror brushing your teeth or combing your hair or whatever you're doing, look up at that mirror where you're going to have the sticky note with them priorities on it and reaffirm, confirm that you're going to do everything you can today to make sure you get one step closer. And then at night before you go to bed, I want you to give yourself a score for the day. Right? Give yourself a score. I like to call it a scorecard. Right? A checkup from the neck up. So when I lay down at night, before I close my eyes, I say, Richard, okay, this is what you wanted to get done today. Was you successful? Did you do everything? Did you get closer? And I got to give myself a score. I give myself a score 1 through 10. 10 being, yeah, I nailed it. And on down. And I got to be honest with myself. See, I can't lie to myself. I might be able to lie to y'all and others, but I can't lie to myself. I can't lie to myself. I can't say, oh, Rich, you did a 10. And I'm like, Richard, you're lying to yourself, man. You 5 today, bro. You slipped. You slipped today. See, I got to be honest with myself. And then I got to recommit. Tomorrow's going to be different. And here's what I'm going to do to make it different. That's prioritizing, guys. If the only information that you have to build wealth is randomly every now and then watching some dude on YouTube or gal on YouTube, you ain't serious about building wealth. You're not. You're not serious about building wealth. Let's just be honest. If you're serious about building wealth, you're going to prioritize it at the top of your list. So that means you're going to take and make time every day to build wealth. I don't care if you ain't investing in the stock market every day. You still should be doing something to learn about assets and how assets multiply money. So you can get your confidence level up. The more confident we are when we do something, guys, the better we are at it. Yeah, the better we are at it. So all I'm telling you is to prioritize. That's the whole conversation I wanted to have around, thinking wealthy and not thinking like a poor person. And again, not a derogatory term to me. And hopefully it's not a derogatory term to you. And I'm not picking on anybody. I'm talking about the mental. I'm talking about your thoughts, your actions, the commitment you have to what you say you want. You say you want a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Are you really committed to that? Or are you just talking? See, if you're really committed to it, you're going to think like a wealthy person. Hey, man, wealth is defined by me. But one thing I will tell you that wealthy people and successful people have in common is they think like a wealthy person. They think like a successful person. I don't know no successful people that mope around all day complaining and telling themselves what they can't do. I don't know anybody like that that's successful. Not in the world that I live in. The world that I live in, people that are successful, they believe they're going to be successful. They prioritize. They take care of their mind. What do I mean by take care of your mind? Taking care of your filter system. What you let in comes out. So if you're sitting around all day letting this poor thinking mentality infiltrate your filter system, oh, that's what's coming out. Whatever goes in the filter system comes out. So whatever you're watching on TV, whatever you're listening to on the radio, whatever you're watching and listening to on social media, that's coming into the filter system. And the filter system does what? It's like a mirror. It shoots it back out. Conscious or subconsciously, it's coming out. Listen, guys, it's extremely important that you figure out which one of these you're going to be. Figure it out. Figure it out. You got less than 48 hours to figure it out. You got less than 48 hours. The future is not going to wait on you. It's not going to wait on me either. The future time is not going to wait on us, guys. Some of us are in our 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Time is not going to wait on us, guys. For you younger folk, 20s, 30s, 40s, oh, I got time. You're going to go to bed one night and you're going to wake up, you're going to be my age, 56. And you're going to look back and say, well, goodness gracious, where did it go? I'm in the same boat I was 10 years ago, living check to check, no emergency fund, credit card debt up to my eyeballs, still ain't paid off my student loans that I took out 30 years ago. Attitude, effort. It's up to you. You get to choose. Choose wisely. I'm here to help you, though. Wealth builders are here to help you, so make sure you utilize us. We're a financial tool for you. Make sure you utilize us. I am a financial tool for you. Make sure you utilize me. Squeaky wheel gets the oil. Well, all right, let's dive on into some of these questions. And because 9:30, we're going to be out of here. So I don't want to continue on. I'm gonna pull back and let's get into some of these questions. Hopefully we have some questions. Hopefully you guys are taking advantage of these Q&As to ask questions. And I know a lot of you guys do, and that's amazing. Guys, continue to utilize me. This is my purpose and my passion. I don't get tired of this. When I get tired of it, I will stop. I promise you. When I no longer want to do this, I will stop. But I don't see that. I got a long runway. I got a long runway ahead of me. God ain't done with me yet. He got a lot more work for me. So please utilize me, right? Please. All right, let's jump into some of these questions. I think I'm gonna have to take my glasses off. All right, here we go. D Player Jr. I like that name. Good evening, Richard and Wealth Builders. What is your opinion on NVIDIA's 10-year annualized return rate? Right now, it is approximately 75%. Do you think it could hold above a 50% annualized return rate in the next 10 years? I know you have NVIDIA shares locked in, but do you recommend dollar cost averaging into an individual stock such as NVIDIA with a strong 10-year annualized rate of return? I'm aware of market share and competition in the future, which is why I factored in 50% support level. I plugged in the numbers using the investment calculator, and the results are definitely convincing. Thanks for your time and everything you do. D Player Jr., absolutely, I believe in NVIDIA. I think it has a long runway. I continue to think it'll be a monster company. And when I say monster, I'm talking about $5, $6, $7 trillion market cap at some point. I think they're still number one in the industry that they're in. They are who everybody's chasing. Having said that, I have no idea what the long-term ROI will be. I'm believing it will be in the area you're talking about. But here's the thing. For me, in order to make sure I'm not disappointed, I can't keep all of my eggs in that one basket. Now, I'm not saying that you're doing that. I'm just giving you my strategy here. My strategy has always been NVIDIA as a plan B. It's not my plan A. See, my plan A is the Wealth Transfer Blueprint 1.0. That's plan A for me. So no matter what happens to NVIDIA, plan A is going to take me to the promised land. It's going to take me to the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. NVIDIA is just plan B. It's 2.0. Trust me, if it hits a home run, I get there faster. But if it don't hit the home run and it becomes a regular company, then great. I did what I could in it. I'll get out of it, roll that money into something else. But the plan A, that wealth transfer blueprint, that's really where I need to hang my hat, to be honest with you. So I'm not sure if I answered your question. I think NVIDIA has a long runway. I think, yes, I think it's going to be a great company, continue to be a great company. I do believe the 10-year return for NVIDIA is much higher than 75%. I'm not sure where you got those numbers from, but let's go ask ChatGPT. What is the 10-year annualized rate of return for NVIDIA stock? I just got to believe it's a lot bigger than that. You're absolutely right. I stand corrected. It's 75%. So you're a man that's been doing his homework, and I appreciate that. You're right. It's 75% over the last 10 years. So yeah, I think can it do? I much rather stick to the CAGR, right? Which is, I believe, over the last 5 years, it was about, what was it, 38%, and that's your compounded annual growth rate. That's CAGR. If we can do 38% over the next 10 years compounded, it's a monster. So 50 is even better. I think we can get somewhere in that 25 to 35% CAGR over the next 10 years, which is monster numbers. Monster numbers. So yes, I love NVIDIA. I'm still sold on NVIDIA. I still have all 11,200 shares of NVIDIA that I purchased in 2024. And I could have been sold out of them. I haven't, because I believe in the long term. The only reason I'm comfortable doing that, though, is because I got Wealth Transfer Blueprint 1.0, which is that's my plan A. That's the only reason I can be comfortable with the kind of money I have in NVIDIA, is because I know I got something else that if NVIDIA does fall and I gotta, take a slight loss or something, I'm still protected. So all I'm saying is make sure you're protected. But I don't think I don't think the thought process you have is wrong. Of course, none of us have a crystal ball, but what I've read and what analysts are talking about and what the CEO of this company, yeah, I think they can do 25, 35 CAGR over the next 10 years. I think they can. So all I would say is just make sure that's not the basket you got all your eggs in. That's all I'm saying. Now, of course, it's your financial plan. You can put your eggs wherever you want to put them. But my recommendation is not put your eggs all in that basket. I certainly wouldn't do that. So let's move on. Michael, and the 50-30-20 rule is a monster. My own parents did not know about it. It's helped me tremendously. I've noticed how much money I have left over. Oh, I know what you're saying. You're talking about the budgeting plan, the 50-30-20 rule. Yeah, that's a monster. I've had videos that I've done on that. I'm glad you mentioned that, Michael. There are videos out there, guys, from, I want to say 2021, 2022. Those videos are on the YouTube channel of that 50-30-20, the 40-40-10, the 40-40-20, all of those types of videos that go through these budgeting rules that help people, It's like a pie chart thing. I got those videos out there, so hopefully you guys will go back and take a look at them. But Michael, you're absolutely right. That 50-30-20 rule is a monster. It's a great way for people to know exactly kind of, okay, this is what I should be doing, and then just grow from there, right? Grow from there. Michael, hey, Richard, I want to thank you again for being here for us, especially us Black folks. No disrespect to anyone. I was driving through Miami today and Fort Pierce and seeing so many RR trucks. And you know, whenever I meet wealthy folks, they all think so different than us. You are so correct. My only question is, why don't people share the information you do? I think it's crazy how the media want to control us to stay broke. You are amazing, Richard. Investing is a priority. Let's go. Michael, I appreciate it. Of course, Michael, the 1% run this country. And of course, and again, guys, this is my opinion, they run this country. And here's the mandate. The mandate is we want to stay to 1%. So let's keep the 99% confused, spending their money on the wrong stuff, having an illusion that they're doing well when really they're doing very bad. Why? Because they don't own nothing. They got no wealth. They got no emergency fund. They got credit card debt. They're living check to check. See, that's the matrix. The whole purpose of the matrix is to keep 1% of the population wealthy, while 99% of the population keep them wealthy too. That's the whole point of the matrix. That's why when you go to kindergarten through 12th grade, through PhD, they teach you nothing about building wealth. Nothing. What do they teach you? They teach you how to get a job. And then they dangle this thing in front of you. This is the American dream. Go get you a house. Go get you a nice car or two. Go get you all the nice things you want. You don't have to wait. Treat yourself now. And then we'll pay you Social Security when you're done as a thank you. That's the trade-off in the matrix. But when you move yourself out of the matrix and you get yourself into a wealthy mindset, you understand that, listen, why do I have to be dependent on you to give me a check? No. At some point in the future, see, I'm going to give up something now. So at some point in the future, I get to control 100% of my time. I get to control my own financial destiny. I get more freedom and more choices in my life. You don't get that in the matrix, guys. The matrix, the whole point of the matrix is to keep you, that's why it's a matrix. It's a matrix because they got you thinking that's really the real world. That's where you should, no. That's the matrix. That's a make-believe world. They made that world up for us to keep us dependent on them. Assets that generate income get you out of the matrix. That's why investing is so important. And I'm glad, Michael, you understand that. Appreciate you. Let's keep moving. Stephen H. Good evening, Richard and Wealth Builders family. As always, thank you, sir, for sharing your knowledge with the group, and the shout out to everyone else that also shares their knowledge. I just wanted to share a small win. I was able to lower my auto insurance payment and use the difference to add to my monthly DCA of SPLG and FTEC. Thank you, Richard, for helping me change my mindset about my finances. I probably would have spent that extra money on something that I didn't need. God bless you and everyone in this group. Happy New Year. See, this is what it's all about right there. See, Stephen has transformed himself and his mind to think like a wealthy person. Therefore, he is wealthy. See? This is what it's all about. But you know something? That was a decision Stephen made. Now, yes, maybe Stephen has listened to me, which he has, and other wealth builders who've communicated. But guess what that is? That's Stephen taking information, and since he has his mindset correct, he's thinking like a wealthy person. See, he's taking that information now and saying to himself, this don't make no sense that this insurance this high. I need to go revisit that and get me a couple quotes and bring that down. And when I bring it down, I'm not going to take that savings and go buy something to make somebody else wealthy. I'm gonna take that savings and do what with it? Turn it into an investment that'll be a bigger multiplier for my money. See, you don't do that unless you've transformed the way you think, guys. Stephen has. He's transformed the way he thinks. I think that's fantastic. This is why I do what I do, for comments like this and people like Stephen and many of you other guys out there that have transformed the way you think from a poor mindset to a wealthy mindset. The money part will come. Little FYI, I don't care how much money you get. If you got bad behaviors with money with $1, you're going to have bad behavior with money with $1 million. You better get your behavior with money right. That's the real wealth. Because once you get your thinking like a wealthy person right, you're going to take all the necessary steps to build wealth, just like Stephen did. Let me go revisit this insurance to make sure I got the best quote. I'm going to reduce this thing, save this $200 or $300 every 6 months, and boom, I'm throwing it into something to build wealth. He would have never thought like that had he not transformed himself. He'd have took that money and said, let me go get me a new pair of golf clubs, or let me go do this or do that, whatever, right? Just to spend it because I got it. Because that's what they teach us in the Matrix. The Matrix don't teach us how to save nothing and put away for retirement. No, they want you to think Social Security is your retirement. So go ahead and spend all your money. We got you. It's a trap, guys. It's a trap. Timothy, good evening, Mr. Fame. I'm so glad I stumbled upon your YouTube 2 years ago and been watching and listening ever since. I've learned so much. I've increased my net worth, improved my mindset, and continue to learn. Thank you. I rock with you. Happy New Year. Timothy, thank you, man. I appreciate you rocking with me because I rock with you. And I appreciate you hanging around and not giving up on me, believing in me, and taking your precious time and listening to me. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm no good, guys, when it comes to this wealth building thing without you guys being able to share my experiences, right? I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. And y'all know I tell y'all when I make mistakes. I don't try to hide like I'm some perfect trader or like I'm 100 for 100. No, when I make a mistake, I tell you. The reason I don't have many mistakes to tell you guys is because I understand that the stock market is a continuous bull market and all I got to do is wait. If it's a good company, all I got to do is wait and it'll right size itself. Y'all know I got in trouble earlier this year or late this year with, what is it called? Super micro computer. I got in trouble with that thing for about a week, about 2 weeks. Could barely sleep. But what did I do? I didn't panic. I just waited, got my little self out of it, made me some money, ain't been back in it since. I learned my lesson. I just didn't know enough about the company. I jumped in prematurely, not knowing enough about the company, didn't know the whole full history of the company, and almost got burnt. Only thing saved me was my mindset. I know the history of the stock market. I know it's a continuous bull market. It's always going to go up, right? Remember I told y'all, stock market is what? It's worth what? $55 trillion is in the stock market. That's the value of the stock market, 55 trillion. Yeah. Our entire U.S. economy is only about 29 trillion. The entire U.S. economy is only about 29 trillion, guys. The stock market is worth $55 trillion. Do you think that's going to fail anytime soon? I'm just asking. No, guys, it's a continuous bull market. You just have to have this right so that you can get through it. I'm not sure if you guys saw my video earlier today that I did. Well, this afternoon, I put up two, one this morning, one this afternoon. And I talked about the Fed and these interest rate cuts and what's going on. They got no other choice but to cut rates more than 2 times next year. They're going to have to. You got to, right? So my point is, guys, continue to learn, plug in, take what you need and execute and just stay long. Stay long in good big boy blue chip assets. Just stay long. You ain't got to be no expert, because I'm not. I don't try to be an expert, right? I don't try to be an expert. I just do what history says is proven. The stock market is proven. I don't care what people say about the stock market. It's the biggest asset class in the world. There is no other asset class bigger than the stock market. It's 55 trillion. Not gold, not real estate, nothing. Nothing's bigger than that. How in the world is that gonna fail? That's all I'm telling you. Let's move on. Robbie Digital. Hello, Richard. Can you share why sold your shorts in 2024 and not 2025 to delay capital gain taxes? Robbie Digital, great question. I'm glad you asked. That's a great question. Here's the situation with me, guys. Again, people can, everybody has to figure out their strategy when it comes to taxes and all that stuff. I'm just one of these guys, I don't mind paying my taxes. See, I'm one of these guys that think this way. Okay, I made X amount of dollars in my shorts. Let's just say I made 100 grand in the shorts. It's less than 12 months, so it's a short, right? So that means I got ordinary income tax. Now, I'm not a CPA, and I'm not trying to play one, guys. I'm just giving you my little amateur explanation. My recommendation, you go get you a real CPA and ask them. But I'm giving you my little amateur explanation. Good news for me, I got a real CPA that I've been working with for 25 something years that do all this for me, but I'm just giving you my little amateur explanation. So if I keep my investments, stock market investments, less than 12 months, that's a short-term capital gain. That means I gotta pay taxes on it, whatever my ordinary income rate is. That's my little amateur explanation. If I keep it longer than 12 months, it's called a long-term capital gain. I pay whatever the capital gain rate is for long-term. Now, I can't remember what it is. It's either 15 or 20%, one of the two. I can't remember. But typically, it's less than, what my ordinary income tax would be. So for me, I'm thinking, okay, I'm a business owner, number one. So I got quite a few deductions and things like that for the business, but I also itemize on my 1040 tax return. And all that means is I don't take the standard deduction, I itemize, and that number is a lot bigger than the standard deduction. So I itemize. This house I live in, pretty expensive house compared to what I'm used to, but I can write off most of the interest that I pay on this house. I can write it off on my personal tax return. My property taxes. There's a certain amount I can write off of my property taxes. So let's just say I can write off $30,000 worth of interest on the house. I can write off $10,000 worth of the property taxes. That's $40,000 that I get to write off and reduce my taxable income. So when I itemize, got the deductions from the business and things of that nature, right? I don't mind paying whatever I got to pay on my shorts. I look at it this way. Let's just say I'm in the 30% tax bracket. After all is said and done, all the maneuvering, I got a 30% tax liability. That means on that 100K that I made short-term gains on the shorts, $30,000 go to Uncle Sam. $70,000 come to Richard Fain. Now, what did Richard Fain do to earn that $100,000? My cell phone and a little bit of knowledge. I didn't go dig no ditches. I didn't go build no roads. I didn't go build no skyscrapers. I didn't go take care of a farm. I didn't do any of that, guys. All I did was I took up my phone and I made a couple trades and I put the phone down and I made money. So guess what, guys? I didn't do much work for that. So if Uncle Sam needs 30 grand and I get 70, that's a pretty good deal for me for doing really nothing. See, the thing that I don't want to do is I don't want to get caught up in this situation where I'm trying to avoid taxes. And listen, I know rich people do it and they got a reason why they do it. I don't really care about any of that. All I care about is I want to only pay my fair share. Now the shorts, they're shorts. There ain't no point in me calling them shorts if I'm gonna keep them long term. Then they're not shorts. I could have easily said, no. I'm gonna just not sell nothing and just let it roll to 2025. At some point, I'm still gonna pay the taxes, right? Because I buy these shorts throughout the year. So the 12 months don't start January 1st. And then if I buy something in, October 1st, the 12 months start when you buy it. So my shorts, I buy all out, I buy them throughout the year. So I would have to wait 12 months. And I don't want to do all of that. The whole point of me buying is getting into the shorts is so I can have free cash flow throughout the year. That I don't have to touch my long-term investments. So if I want to go do something nice for me or my children, I ain't got to touch any of my long-term stuff. I just go to the shorts money, take what I need, pay for what I need, go about my business, right? So for me, the reason I take the short-term capital gain is because that's what it's intended to do. It's a short. I don't want to fool with, trying to keep up with, okay, I bought this on January 9th. Okay, I got to wait till January 9th before I can sell it to get long. I don't want to wait. That's too much work. I'll just pay whatever I need to pay. My goal is to reduce my tax rate as much as I can through whatever the IRS allows me to reduce it with. That's why I have a real CPA that works on this stuff for me, and I don't do it myself. I don't hire a person that's not a professional. I get a certified public accountant that does this for me, and he does a great job. So if I got questions, can I do this? You can or you can't. And that's what I roll with, right? So for me, I try to reduce my tax number as much as I can. And then whatever that number is, I pay taxes on it. So if it's 30%, whatever my total income is, then I'll pay 30% of that total income to the federal government. That's just a part of being an American citizen or a person that lives here. Now, everybody don't believe that, and that's okay. People can do what they want to with their own tax strategy. But for me, like I said, man, I didn't do very much to make this money in those shorts, guys. I studied a few patterns in 5 or 6 companies, and I know when to buy them, and I know when to sell them, and I just do it like clockwork, and the money comes in with the sole purpose of taking care of my lifestyle or some of the things that I like to do during the year, and then whatever the tax consequence is, I'll pay it, and I'll do it again the next year. The long-term money where the real wealth is, that is in IRAs, and some of it's in longer-term investments, that there is a strategy around taking that money out at some point that I will reduce the tax liability. But right now, the little short money, I don't worry about that because it's just there to be able to facilitate purchases of things that I need throughout the year, my family needs throughout the year. I like to have a good time. I like to do nice things for myself and for my family. So the short money is a way for me to be able to do that without touching my long-term wealth building money. So yeah, I don't mind paying taxes on it. It's okay. So there we go. And again, you got to understand, when I get into these shorts, my goal is to get into these shorts for just a small period of time. I don't want to get into the shorts and stay in them for 2 years. Then they ain't a short. I want to get into Serve Robotics when it's $8, $8.50, under $9 a share, and stay in it till it gets to $13 or $14 a share, and then I'm parachuting out. So if that's 1 month or 4 months, that's how long I wait. Once it gets to my exit number, my exit price, I'm out of there. I take my cash, put it in the brokerage account, use what I want to use, and then redeploy it back into another short. So that's what I do with the short. So that strategy is a strategy that has worked well in 2024, and I'll rinse and repeat it in 2025, and I will pay the short-term capital gains, whatever that is, and I'm okay with that. So hopefully, Robbie Digital, that answered your question. Let's move on to John. Good evening, Richard. It's tax season. Could you explain how you do your taxes with your shorts being in and out all the time? Do you pay taxes every time you make a profit or only when withdraw your gains from Moo? No, I pay taxes at the end of the year. They're going to send me a 1099, right? Moo, Merrill, whichever one I might use, they're gonna, because I use both, Moo and Merrill. They'll send me a 1099 at the end of the year. I'll get that 1099. It'll list all my little gains or losses. I don't understand any of it. I give it to my CPA. I provide my CPA with he sends me an organizer every year. That's why I tell y'all guys, man, if you're serious about this thing, I'm not saying everybody got to go get a CPA, but if you got a complicated situation, you got a business, you got side hustle money, you got capital gains potentially on investments like real estate, or you got stocks, or mine's a little complicated for me to just try to do this stuff myself. So he sends me an organizer every year. I go through the organizer. I update what I need to. I package up the organizer with all my accompanying documents on my 1099s, my previous year's tax returns, real estate statements, real estate tax statements, my interest statements from the bank on the mortgages, all of that stuff. All my investment activities, I just go print it off. I send all of it to him. And then he and his team will give me a call. We'll sit down. They'll say, well, okay, Richard, this is what we got. Clarify this for me. Clarify that for me. Okay, here's the liability. And when it's due, I write a check to the IRS. Boom, I pay it. I don't do nothing else, because see, I don't have a problem with paying my taxes like that. I just don't. I've never been like that, guys. I've never been one of these people that don't want to pay no taxes. I just haven't been, because I know this is what the rich trick y'all to think. They never pay taxes. They pay taxes. They pay them differently, but they pay them, right? Go look online and do a Google search of who pays the most taxes. And you'll see, like, the 1% pay a lot more taxes in a lot of cases than the 99%. Just telling you guys, they do. But they'll try to get you to think they don't. But they do. I'm not saying all of them do, but if you look who pay the majority of the taxes, if you look, go do the research on it. They'll give you line by line who paid the majority. Let me just do this real good. Who pays the majority of federal income tax in America? Just want to run y'all by this. Because see, I love ChatGPT. Here we go. In 2021, the bottom half of taxpayers earned 10.4% of total AGI, paid 2.3% of all federal individual income tax. The top 1% earned 26.3% of the total AGI and paid 45.8% of the federal income taxes. See what I'm trying to tell you? But people would think, so it says right here, in all, the top 1% of taxpayers accounted for more income taxes paid than the bottom 90% combined. The top 1% of taxpayers paid more than $1 trillion in income taxes, while the bottom 90% paid $531 billion. Now, who pays the most taxes? But yet, it still will run around here acting like they don't pay no taxes. So I keep telling y'all guys, you got to get your knowledge game up. The 1% pay more taxes than the 99%. Just saying. So who am I to sit around here? Oh, I ain't gonna pay no taxes. I ain't gonna pay no taxes. Mess around and get in trouble with the I to the R to the S. And it's hard to get them people off your back, man. You do not want them people on your back. I don't want them on my back. So I'm gonna go ahead and pay my taxes. And I ain't gonna have no problem with it. So here we go. Let's keep moving. Hopefully, John, that answered your question. Sharon King. Good evening, Mr. Fain and all the wealth builders. Really appreciate all of you. It's really a pleasure being attached to this group. We are all looking forward to 2025 and super excited because we are all on the right track. Thanks again to our millionaire mentor. Happy New Year to all. Sharon, thank you. Again, like I always say, you show up and show out. You always show up and you show out. Thank you so much for your support. I can't thank you enough. Appreciate you. All right. Natasha Mitchell. Hey, Richard, I first started following you during COVID. And after listening to you, I made 2 real estate investments in Missouri. The properties are doing well. What are your thoughts about real estate as the investment option at this time? I think real estate is for the right deal and the right location is still in play. I just think right now is the opportunity. If you're really a real estate person and you want to buy real estate to build wealth, now is the best time to get the best deals because you don't have as much competition. So therefore, sellers are sort of at your mercy. They really are. That's my opinion now. I just think it's a buyer's market right now. If you're qualified, if you're a qualified borrower and you're looking to build a real estate book of business, now is the best time to get the best deals, guys. Because when these rates come down, y'all already know when rates come down, that increases demand. Now competition goes up. Now it reverts back to a seller's market. Especially if they go down. I mean, it's going to take a few years for them to go down, but all I'm saying is, if you're a person that wants to build a real estate book of business for income, I would always go for a better price over a lower interest rate. I would go for a better price. I can always refinance. Just saying, I don't see real estate getting any worse price-wise. Some pockets of the country, yes. But I mean, I don't see real estate in Florida. Real estate prices have fell. But I think the reason in Florida they're falling is because of these hurricanes we've had back to back last 2 years. There's too many hurricanes. Don't nobody want to live in a hurricane-infested place. 6 months out of the year, you can't even enjoy yourself because you might have a hurricane. People don't want to do that no more. A lot of these retirees are going to Arizona. They're going to New Mexico. They're going to Nevada. And they're just bypassing Florida. It's just too hectic with the insurance rates are through the roof here in Florida. Property taxes are going up. Hurricanes. So in certain parts of the country, yes, prices are falling, but that's a good thing. If I were a real estate investor who was really looking to build a book of business, I would probably come to Florida and buy some real estate, especially on the west coast of Florida. But see, the thing for me is I've done this. I've bought real estate for 25 years. Good times, bad times, in between times. I bought it all in all economies. I bought real estate. The best time I bought real estate is during bad times. Now, I'm not saying right now is a bad time, but what I will tell you is the housing market is lower right now because interest rates are so high and they've been so high for so long. So it's an opportunity for you, Natasha. I'm not, like I said, I don't know if you're looking to buy in Missouri or somewhere else, but I think if you're qualified, and it seems like you are, might be a good idea to go get you some great deals price-wise. And then when rates come down, it's easy to refinance them. That's all I'm saying. And that goes for any of you guys out there that's looking to buy real estate. I don't know what you're waiting on. Right now, you're going to get the best price. Now, don't get me wrong. If we have some catastrophic economic downturn, could prices go lower? Sure. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. I don't see it happening anytime soon, right? So that's the purpose of the Federal Reserve keeping the interest rates higher for longer for 2 years. To make sure none of that happened. And they did a great job. So yeah, if you're qualified, right now is a good opportunity to go get you a really good deal because you don't have as much competition. You can always refinance later. D Fortune. Good evening, Richard and the Wealth Builder family. Hope all is well. My question is, which sectors are most likely to benefit from tariffs on imported goods, and how can investors position themselves to capitalize on these opportunities? For me, guys, like I said this morning in my video, for me, it's American company. Well, companies in America. I don't want to say American companies, but companies in America that make their products in America. They benefit the most. Because you got to understand, if I'm a company in America, but all of my widgets are made in some other country where I get lower labor costs, lower material costs, and I get to ship them over here with no tariff, I got a leg up on the company that's here in America that has American labor and has to buy their materials in America. They're going to pay higher for wages and labor, and they're going to pay higher for material. So I got a leg up if I'm buying my stuff from some other country. Now, if President Trump does follow through on his tariffs, and let's say he hits whoever the country or you get your stuff from, he hits them with a 25% tariff. Now, the country or the widget maker in that country ain't gonna pay the tariff. Whoever gets the import is gonna pay the tariff. Let's say it's Target. Target gets that widget, they gotta pay that 25% tariff. Guess what Target does? Targets take that 25% and they do what? They mark that widget up by 25%. And they pass the cost on to you and me. Y'all know Target ain't finna get you know, Target gonna pass that cost on to you and me. They're gonna increase the price of that widget. So I think companies in America who actually manufacture, do whatever they do all in America, it evens the playing field. Maybe even slightly gives them an advantage. Just saying. Because most people, if I'm gonna buy that widget and the widget from some other country costs $3, but I can also buy an American widget made in America where I live for $3. Most people are going to take the American widget for $3. They just are because they're Americans. They like America. So I think American companies who manufacture, make stuff, whatever they do here in America, I think will benefit the most from tariffs. That's just my little 2 cents. I'm no expert in this. So what I would do is go to ChatGPT on Google and ask ChatGPT what companies, matter of fact, I keep telling y'all guys to use Google. Google it's my library. Let me ask Google. Google, which companies will benefit from tariffs here in America? I should have said which American companies. I should have said American companies. Let me see American companies. Which American companies? Okay, let's try that one time. But this is what I normally do. Which American companies So it says, in a large open economy such as the U.S., the efforts of the tariffs are mixed. Consumers, both individuals and businesses, are negatively impacted. The domestic industry protected by tariffs, such as U.S. coffee producers, benefit by being able to sell more of their products. See, there you go. So it's U.S. companies. They use an example of a coffee company. I can sell more of my products because the playing field is level, right? Matter of fact, I might even have a little bit slighter, cheaper price now. If the tariffs hit this company that's bringing their cocoa beans in from some other country and they hit them with that tariff. So all I'm saying is I just think it's American companies. You just got to get out there and do some research and find some of these companies. So here it is, some products that benefit from tariff protection. We live in an era of free trade, except when we don't. The recent fever over trade deals between the U.S. and China, between the U.S. and the rest of the Americas made it appear that the U.S. went all in on free trade until Donald Trump became president. The reality is there have always been plenty of exceptions to free trade. I'm not gonna go into all of that, but my point is this. I think American companies who make their products here benefit. They just do. Level playing field, and in some cases their prices may be even a little bit cheaper. And even if they're not cheaper but the same price, they still benefit because most people will buy that product. Because let's face it, and I'm not saying in all instances, but in a lot of instances, the American-made product that's homegrown and made here is a better quality than the widget you get from some other country. Most people will sacrifice that quality if the price is just cheap enough. Okay, it may not last 5 years like this one, but I don't need but 2 years out of it. Let me get the cheap one. That's what happens. So if you level that playing field, American companies who make widgets or furniture or whatever, they tend to do better when tariffs are on some of these other countries. Again, not an expert here, but D Fortune, that's what I would think. I would think American companies that make their own products here in America would benefit from it. So just go out and find whoever those companies are, right? And there you go. Only Lord knows. Hello, Richard and family. I hope all is well with everyone today. Happy Monday. Thank you, Richard, for the short list you gave us in the last video for 2025 and beyond. For me, I can't bring myself to invest into private prison stocks for this future mass deportation. I'm with you on that, man. I got you. But my goal was to just tell you, okay, these are the people who benefit. Whether we invest in them or not, I'm with you on that one. Lord only knows. I'm with you. A lot of private prisons have contracts with ICE. Exactly. And they help fuel mass incarceration. I do not know how they're ran, being that I am a medically retired corrections officer. Well, it says I do know how they're ran, being that I am a medically retired corrections officer. Okay. I don't believe in profiling off of others' downfalls. I am not saying other people are wrong for doing so. It's just a personal decision for me. I put a few oil stocks on the short list, especially Shell, since that's my preferred gasoline of choice. I like that. If you're going to be spending your money somewhere with a big boy blue chip, you need to be buying the big boy blue chip, right? I understand if you're at the corner store, you know, there ain't no public company. But if you're buying something from a big boy blue chip and you do it regularly, you might want to look into being a shareholder. That's a good one right there, Lord only knows. You like Shell, most def. You like them, buy them. Be a shareholder. I like that. So that's my preferred choice of gas I use. For me, I am more focused on ETFs such as SPLG and precious metals at the moment to hedge myself against what I possibly foresee to come with the upcoming administration. I am also still doing DCA into the MAG 7 no matter what happens. I do believe the MAG 7 will do well regardless, being that those 7 companies play a critical role in our everyday society. But all in all, thank Richard for all you do. I do believe we will all make it and do well. Peace, love, and blessings to all the wealth builders in here. God bless. Lord only knows. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you rocking with us. And again, you show up and you show out. So appreciate you as well, man, for all your support and just rocking with me and always being light at the end of the tunnel, man. No matter who we are, we all need to see some light at the end of that tunnel, even me. So I appreciate you for being a light at the end of that tunnel and letting me know everything I'm doing is headed in the right direction towards that light. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. And you're absolutely right. If you don't rock with something, don't rock with it. And you're also absolutely right. If you don't want to even get caught up in all of that and trying to be the expert, go to SPLG, let them be the expert, or some other ETF that tracks the S&P 500. Let them be the expert. That's what Lord only knows is doing. Now, he may pick him some up here and there, but it ain't going to be his plan A is what I'm saying. His plan A is SPLG MAG 7. That's a pretty dang on good plan A. Plan B might be, okay, let me pick up me a few individual stocks here and there just to, you know, that's plan B. Plan A, in my opinion, guys, should always be ETFs in the MAG 7 or something like that, especially ETFs. Gotta be ETFs. Well, we're not the expert. Just saying. Just saying. Derek Jackson. I'm starting off with a cash reserve account, $500, until I build it up, then do the ETF. Is that smart or that okay to go that route? I'm starting off with $500 cash reserve account until I build it up, then do what you got to build up. I mean, I'm in there right now. $500, I'm in. I ain't nothing to build up. If I got $100, I'm in. through fractional share trading, I'm in, man. I don't know what, I know, again, Derek, it's your plan. You do whatever you want to do, but I'm not sure what you're waiting on. I keep telling y'all guys, in the stock market, these 365 days we getting ready to roll into for 2025, you're going to get 10 or 15 days where this thing going to be a ballistic missile. You miss them 10 or 15 days, you're not going to get no return. I'm just saying, it might be 10, 15, 20 ballistic missile days. If I'm sitting around trying to wait, I'm missing stuff. No, what I do is I get in with what I got. If I got $100 and I got that consistently to put in every single month, that's what I put in until I can do better. I want to be my money in the market 365 days. I don't want one day off. So my advice, Derek, is yes, I get the cash reserve thing. But if I got $500 already and I'm ready to start investing, that's what I start with. I'm not saying you got to put all $500 in at one time, but take $100 and say, well, okay, this month, let's do 100. Next month, let's do another 100. Next month, let's do another 100. And just DCA that thing in until you get all $500 in. But I wouldn't wait. I just wouldn't wait. I'd get started. And then I'd make a commitment to myself that I know I need to do this every single month, every single year, every single decade until I reach my goal. Whatever that goal is. Whatever your goal is, Derek, you need to have that goal in the forefront of your mind. I keep telling you guys, when you're trying to put a plan together, the plan only works if you know what your end result is. You can't build a plan without knowing what the end result you want to achieve. Then you build the plan. You got to figure out, what am I trying to accomplish? Am I just trying to jump in this thing and make me X amount of dollars and jump out and I'm going to go on with the rest of my life? If that's your plan, great, but at least know that. If your plan is, you know, I'm starting out with $500, but I believe within 90 days, I can get up to $1,000 a month. Within 180 days, I can get up to $1,500 a month. And just keep on that path. Now, I want to do this for 10 years, Richard. And at the end of that 10 years, I want to have $1 million. What do I need to do? What do I need to invest every single month? What type of return do I need so I can search out these investments that have a historical track record of delivering those returns? What do I need? What do I need to do to be at $1 million in 10 years? Well, listen here. You need to be at about $5,000 a month at a 13% rate of return. And I grabbed that from the last 10 years out of the S&P because that's what it delivered. So 13% rate of return on $5,000 a month, every month for the next 10 years. That's $60K a year. You got a $1.1 million in 10 years. Just saying, guys, this is how we got to think, though. We got to have our goal, and then we come up with the plan. We can't start doing something and don't know what we're trying to accomplish. The first financial bump we hit in a row, we will quit. Why? Because you got no compelling reason not to quit. You don't have a goal. You don't have a carrot at the end of the rainbow. You don't have nothing that stops you from quitting. If you don't have a defined goal of what you're trying to get accomplished, you will quit when you hit a financial bump in the road. Why? Because you got no reason to keep going. So all I'm saying is make sure you're crystal clear on what your end result is, guys, before that clock strikes 12 a.m. tomorrow. Well, the 31st. Before 11:59 on the 31st, 11:59 p.m., 12:31, know what your ultimate goal is. And then work into your plan. And if you don't know how to work into that plan, you need to DM me. And we'll work into the plan together, because the first question I'm asking you is what do you want to get accomplished? Don't give me no vague stuff. I want to know specifically what you're trying to get accomplished. How much money do you need every month to take care of you in 10 years? Are you willing to pay the price to get there? Are you willing to go through some financial pain? Remember in the beginning, we talked about what? Give up something in the beginning. All of those wealthy people I talked to, all of these billionaires I mentioned earlier, all of them gave up something in the beginning. You think Oprah didn't give up something in the beginning? Have y'all read her story, where she came from and what she went through? Now look at her, one of the richest women in the world. She didn't come out some Harvard educated background, some upper middle, none of that. All I'm telling you guys is this lady had an end result she wanted to achieve. So every time it got hard, she thought about that end result, and that got her through it. Had she not had that, she'd have quit. She would have quit. Derek, do whatever you feel like is best for you and your family, man. All I'm telling you is don't wait. Don't wait. I don't know what you're waiting on. There ain't no time to wait. You got $500, get in the game. And then make a commitment to do it consistently every month, as long as it takes to hit your goal. Big boy blue chip, long term, right? All right, Money Mac 5. I see you, Money Mac. I see you. I see you, Money Mac. You show up and show out too. I see you. Greetings to Richard and the Fame Gang. At the end of the year, normally I just put my 2 cents in, let others ask questions and listen to the answers. However, are there any new shorts to look out for in 2025 since I'm going strong on Blueprint 1.0, 2.0? I'm looking to capitalize off the shorts so that I can reap the benefits of those profits and re-roll that into 1.0 to get my pot at the end of the rainbow quicker. Great question, Money Mac. And you're absolutely right. I've ran across one more, and actually it ain't. I got it out of community chat. I keep telling y'all that community chat, there's gold in those hills, man. I got this one out of the community chat, and I made $1,000 a day off of it, just in and out, right? I made $1,000 a day off of this little one right here. Let me tell you which one it is. This is another one I ran across it through the community chat, jumped all over it, made $1,000 a day, quick. Here we go. The name of the company is, y'all know I'm bad with reading these funny names, but Rigetti Computing Inc. Ticker symbol RGTI. I know one of our wealth builders, he been in it, but he dropped it in the community chat the other day, last week, something like that. And I got it. Of course, you know me. I went and did the first thing I do, went to Chat GPT, looked it up, looked at the 52-week high, which was $19.35. The 52-week low was 66 cents. And I jumped all over it. And I said, hey, man, I ain't trying to stay in this thing long. I'm just trying to stay in this thing enough to make $1,000, $2,000, and then I'm out. So I did that on Friday. I got in it. On Friday. And then by today, I got out of it, made over $1,000, less than 24 hours, basically, because I got in it Friday and got out of it Monday. Today, Monday, right? Yeah. So I made $1,000 and got out of it, but that's the new one that I've added to the short list because I figured out a little pattern that it has. So I'm on that one. What else I'm on? Y'all already know the other ones that I'm on. Let's see if I got anything new. So that Rigetti, and again, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Rigetti Computing Inc. Ticker symbol RGTI. And what I do is, and again, I'm not long in these things, so all I'm looking for is $14 a share, $14.50 a share, jump in, bail out, $2 a share, $3 a share higher, I bail out. That's my strategy. Again, I'm not recommending this for anybody. I'm just telling you, this is what I do, and you know, but I got time to watch it. I got time to be on it. I put my stops in. I put my limit in, the bailout. I do all of that. And then I just let it, I made about $1,000 a day. I could have made more. But again, my goal is not to get greedy in this stuff. My goal is to set the target. Okay, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Once I make that, out. That's it for me. I work very hard not to get greedy because that's when I make mistakes. When I get greedy. So that's one of them right there, Money Mac. And then y'all know the rest of them. So let me see if there's anything new other than Rigetti. Anything else new other than Rigetti? I don't think so. Y'all know about SoFi. Y'all already know about Applied, Digital, Serve Robotics, Rocket Lab. SoundHound. That's another one that I'm on too. Got that out of the community chat too. SoundHound. Ooh, shoot. SoundHound right now, 52-week high, $24.98, 52-week low, $1.62. It's on the high side right now, so it ain't something that I'm in right now, but it's on the list for next year. I think if it gets down to, $15 a share or something like that, maybe I'll get into that one, but that's on the list. It gotta go down though for me. Right now it's on the higher side, so I'm not in it. But I got 6 or 7 of them, guys, and I think I've made videos on them, but certainly can send them to you if you want me to. Just send me a DM on Patreon, and then I'll send them to you. But yeah, I'm in these things. I said I wasn't getting in them to them till next year, but when I got this Rigetti, I looked at it and I said, well, okay, Friday morning, pre-market, it was in the $15 a share. And then on Friday, when the market opened, it automatically, went down and then bounced back up to like 19 something and then started working itself back down. And I got in probably around 17. And then I got out today around 1770 or something like that, 1775, 1776. Made $1,000 and I was happy. That was a good day's work. Close up the books, going on to the next day. That's the way I look at it. Now, some days I'm gonna make more. Like last week, Thursday, I made about $3,300. And then the week before that, when I was in Rocket Lab, I made about $12,500. So right there, that's a quick 20 grand with shorts, man. Now again, I'm not telling you this for you guys to go out there and get yourself in trouble. I'm just telling you what I do because I got time. I've been doing this a long time. And I just, you know what I'm saying? I'm willing to take the risk for the reward. I'm willing to take the risk for the reward. But, 20 grand in a couple of weeks, just messing around with these little shorts, you can't beat that. You can't beat it with a sledgehammer. So January 2nd, I'm not going to fool around with it tomorrow because too much manipulation activity can go on tomorrow. It's the end of the year. You'll catch me, Wall Street aliens, slipping new. So I ain't messing with it tomorrow. But January 2nd, back in there. Back in there, January 2nd. I ain't messing with it tomorrow. Too much Wall Street alien activity might be going on tomorrow, tricking people. Nope, staying out of it. So if you want to know them shorts again, shoot me an email. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. What the hell am I talking about? Shoot me a DM in Patreon. And I'll send you my shorts. Again, now, I'm not going to sit up here and try to go through the whole strategy and all of that stuff. I got videos out there that I tell you exactly what the strategy is. So go to the YouTube channel and check out the videos. They'll tell you what the strategies is. I think I got a video on there that says that these 5 or something like that. I got some videos in there, recent videos that tell you the strategy. So I can't regurgitate and type all that in. No, I ain't doing that. But if you just want a list of them, I'll send them to you through DM on Patreon. So let's move on. Money Mac, I hope that answers your question. Derek, I'm a newcomer and super excited to gain financial acumen and become educated on my road to wealth. Hey, here's a best practice. Plug into the YouTube channels and don't miss nothing. Plug in, man. Every day be in them on my YouTube channel, listen to, because I'm telling y'all guys, that's where I be giving it right there. Problem is people don't want to watch videos or they don't prioritize. See, people don't prioritize, right? Some people do not prioritize. I keep telling you, better prioritize your financial wealth. If you're going to follow me, here's a pro tip. Watch my videos if you want to follow me and get help from me. Because I know the people that actually watch the videos because of the questions that they ask. And I know when they ain't watching the videos because of the questions that they ask. When I just did a video today on exactly what you're asking me about, that means you're not watching the videos. Then why are you following me? Why are you in the wealth builders? It don't make any sense. All I'm telling you guys, if you want to build wealth, prioritize your education around wealth. You have to. You just have to, guys. There are certain people I watch on YouTube that I watch them because they make me wiser. I watch other creators on YouTube not because I watch them because they make me wiser when it comes to investing. They give me angles that I didn't think of. So all I'm saying is I don't do that because, oh, golly, I love watching YouTube. I do it because I want to have the right mindset. I want to be able to have the knowledge to be able to execute. All right? So all I'm telling you guys is if it ain't going to be me, find somebody. But if you're going to follow me, please watch the videos. That's where the gold is. That's where I'm going to come here in the Wealth Builders and I'm going to make a few posts. I'm going to comment. I'm going to see what everybody else is doing. I'm going to answer DMs. But I'm not going to do what I do in the videos. What I do in the videos is for the YouTube channel. One of your priorities, if you're going to follow me and want to glean any type of understanding of my thought process about building wealth, you may want to watch the YouTube videos. What good is about the Wealth Builders is that you got 1,200 other people in here with different backgrounds and different experiences that can help you too. So it's just as important, but the two go hand in hand, right? Oh, I'm just in the Wealth Builders, but I don't watch the videos. Well, you ain't gonna know what I'm doing then. Somebody got mad at me earlier this week. Oh, you made money in your shorts, but you ain't telling us what you're doing and when you're buying them. Yeah, I do. I tell you exactly what I buy and why I buy them and when I buy them. Now, do I come in the chat and say, well, okay, chat, in 15 minutes, I'm getting ready to buy a short? No, I'm not going to do that. That's not what I do. Because I don't want to be responsible for somebody else, me making a decision for somebody else. I told you all the shorts that I buy. I told you the strategy I use, when I get in them, when I get out of them. You got to make the decision when you want to jump on that wagon. I can't come in the chat and say, okay, guys, countdown, 15 minutes, let's get on it. I'm not going to do that. I cannot be responsible for that. If someone loses money and then it's on me, I can't be responsible for that. So hopefully you appreciate that. Tracy, hey, Tracy, appreciate you. OG, you show up and show out as well. You know something? We started this thing back in May, I believe, of this year. And some of y'all been rocking with me that long in the Wealth Builders. And I appreciate you. I know, Tracy, you've been rocking with me the whole time. And like I said, you show up and show out. And I appreciate you. Aloha, Mr. Fain and fellow Wealth Builders. For the first time in my life, I feel like I'm finally on the right track financially on the New Year's. I am so excited for a brighter future. I want to thank you, Mr. Fain, for being obedient to your calling. We are all recipients of the gift that is your experience and wisdom. Appreciate you for that, Tracy. That goes a long ways. Thank you. Thank you also to all of you Wealth Builders who've communicated with me in the chats this year. You've encouraged me and made my life more interesting. I've learned many things and appreciate every one of you. My question tonight is about social media for my side hustle. Mr. Fain, do you pay for Facebook and YouTube subscriptions? Are your accounts verified and do you pay for verification? I'm asking because Google says you don't need to pay to be verified on Facebook, but when I try to verify my account, they want to charge me monthly. The business tier is very expensive too. I appreciate your transparency. Happy New Year, and may God continue to bless you and all my fellow Wealth Builders too. Well, now, great question. And the answer is no. I don't pay for nothing on Facebook. I don't pay for nothing on Instagram. I don't pay for nothing on YouTube. I don't pay for nothing on TikTok. I don't pay for any of that stuff. Now, at one point this year, I thought about paying for Instagram because I wanted to make sure I didn't build this channel back up to 100,000 followers like I had on my old channel. and they just cut it off because, you know, scammers. So I said, well, golly, man, maybe I should pay this time. So when I build this thing back up, which I will, right now we're about 7,600, followers right now, but we'll build it back up to 100K. I got I'm very confident we will. And maybe I will at some point do that just to avoid the scammers. But at this point, I haven't done it. I just don't think the page is big enough yet. Once we get probably past 25,000 subs, I will probably pay for Instagram verification, because at that point, the page is big enough for me to be able to be on there separate from YouTube and do my thing and create enough momentum to pay for the subscription. Right now, it doesn't generate no money, or at least not enough. So I ain't finna be paying for nothing that don't generate no money. So for me, it's not right. And there's, YouTube, I assume I'm YouTube verified because I got a little check mark by my name, but I ain't never paid YouTube anything. They never asked me to pay them nothing. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit easier on YouTube because people know your page, right? They know you, the content you make. So it's hard for somebody to just use your name but how can they get your videos? The YouTube algorithm knows when someone takes your video and try to use it as their videos. They know that and they'll flag it, right? So I don't really have to do that on YouTube. TikTok is nothing right now for me, so I wouldn't pay for anything on TikTok. And the same with Facebook. I wouldn't pay Facebook anything to be verified. I just don't make any money on Facebook. The Facebook is there just as a way for people to connect with me that prefer Facebook. But I don't make any money on Facebook, so there's no way I would pay Facebook anything. But I will with Instagram. Once the page gets to about 25,000 followers, I will go ahead and pay Instagram, because at that point, I'll be able to generate enough income from the page to pay for it. Do I think you need to pay for all of this stuff? No, I don't. But that's a personal decision, right? For me, I've said I'm not going to pay for anything unless it makes sense for me to pay for it, to protect, the page and not have it taken down again. When I look back on it, my last page, when I was up to 90,000 followers on Instagram, I should have paid for it. And that was a mistake. And I own that mistake. At that page was that big, I really needed to set aside and verify who I was so people could find me. With the page as it is right now, I just don't think it's worth doing that yet, because really Instagram ain't really tracking it because it's just not big enough yet. So long story short, I don't pay for any of that stuff right now. That doesn't mean I won't pay in the future, but it has to justify, the page has to justify for me paying for it. I think you can do everything you need to do right now at this stage of your social media, putting it together. Don't pay for any of that stuff. Just go ahead and just concentrate on the content. That's the key, right? The key is the content. If you're going to be a social media content person that wants to create that into a side hustle and then perhaps into a business, then just focus on the content. That's the main thing. Just be consistent with the content. Figure out what your niche is, your niche, your niche, or whatever you want to call it. Figure out what that is, and then zero in on it to the best of your ability. Learn everything you can about that niche, and then just zero in on making content every single day in that niche. That's what I would do. I would go find other creators in that niche that do well, and I wouldn't emulate them, but what I would do is I would get best practices from them. I did that in the beginning. I would go to other YouTubers. I never contacted them. No, hey, dude, you're doing 1 million views. Tell me what you do. I never did that. I'm not saying you can't do it. I just didn't do it. What I did was I would study them. I would study exactly what they were doing, what they were saying. I would go to their comment section and look at the comments to see what people were saying. And then it gave me ideas on how to get my videos a little bit the way I wanted them. Now, I still don't make the best videos in the world, but I'm consistent. That's my secret sauce on YouTube. It's not that I make the best videos, because I don't. I don't got no fancy stuff. Sometimes I might be saying stuff kind of wrong, but I'm consistent. And it's the same message every single day, 365 days a year. You know, when you come to my channel, you know exactly what you're going to get. Ain't no mistakes. You know exactly what you're going to get. And that's my secret sauce to YouTube, is just I just stayed consistent, and I found my niche and I found my audience. And I just keep pounding. Good views, medium views, no views. I keep pounding. Do I get upset sometimes? Yes, but I keep it to myself and I just keep pounding because I know the algorithm will turn around at some point. And one thing I've learned also about this is how to take my YouTube channel and multiply it out into other streams of income. And you'll figure that out too. Because really, when you think about it, YouTube is not my biggest revenue source. It's a revenue source and it's a great revenue source, but it's not my biggest revenue source. I have other things that I do to make money that's bigger than the YouTube revenue, AdSense revenue, right? So that's what I learned over time was like, but see, I learned this from Damon John, the guy who started FUBU, you know, the guy on Shark Tank. I was listening to him years ago, and I heard him on one of his interviews. He said, you know, if you're going to do this thing on social media, build the audience first. Build your community first. Build the audience first. Then you can offer your audience more value through different things that you do. But build the audience first. Find your core audience so they know who you are, deliver every day on time. And then once you build that audience and they know you and they respect you and they know you're giving them good advice that's value, then at that point you can create other things that they will find value in, and then that can be a revenue source for you. So that's what I did. I just focused on my first 2 years on YouTube. I didn't do any affiliate marketing. I didn't know websites. All I did was make YouTube videos and do one-on-one, 1 hour coaching sessions from those videos. I didn't do anything else. I did that for 2 years. And then once I built my community after 2 years, tail end of 2021, I started into affiliate marketing. But by that time I had built an audience and they knew me. And then I just kept going from there. You notice it took me 5 years, fifth year into all of this before I built a website or before I created a financial community. 5 years, because I wanted to build the audience. So all I'm saying is just concentrate more on, in my opinion, more on just getting that content out, finding your audience. Make sure every time you make a piece of content, you do a call to action. In the beginning and in the end. Y'all notice about my videos. I don't care if I'm in live streams or I'm in regular videos, edited videos. I do a call to action before every video, before I get started into the material, every time. Call to action. In the beginning, in the end. Whether you like it or not, you're getting it. Now, you can fast forward or do whatever you want to do, but it's going to be in there. Why do I do that, guys? Every single day, 365 days a year. Why do I do that? People that like you and follow you and they feel like they're getting value, if you ask them to try something, they will. But if I don't ask, they won't. It's that simple, guys. It's that simple. If you ask people to do something, hey guys, try Moo. This is what the benefit of it is. Try Moo. A lot of y'all, oh, I'm tired of you saying that. You do that every video. Guys, I'm not going to even get into that. I'm not going to get into the whole affiliate marketing. It's a monster. You just don't understand, guys. I do it on Facebook. I do it on Instagram. I do it on TikTok. I do it on YouTube. It's a monster. Just because I do what? I ask people to try it. I provide content, I provide value, and then I offer them something that's free for them to try so that they can make some money, so that they can build their wealth. And people do it. So same thing with the website. Every day, every video, I mention my website. Every day. Now, over 400,000 people have visited that website just because I asked people to go visit it. And a ton of people have purchased digital products. And they've signed up, 1,200 of you guys have signed up for the Wealth Builder. All through what? Me asking. See, this is the power of building your community, adding value, being here every single day, rain or shine. That's what you got to do, in my opinion, if you really want this thing to work. Find your audience. Now, whether you pay for any of this stuff, that's up to you, Tracy. But my recommendation is find your audience. Find your audience, be consistent with that message, add value to their life, and everything else will take care of itself. Maurice Banks, Mr. Fain, would you please be sure to review your YouTube video today where you spoke on sectors and other investments to put on your watch list during the next Trump administration? Oh, you're talking about the video I did this morning where I talked about the seven priorities, the 7 priorities. Yeah. So now, of course, the video gives you all the details, but I'll give you the 7 right here real quick. I think I can remember them off from the top of my head. Number 1 is going to be deportation. And the whole point of it is these are industries, and I know Lord only knows kind of spoke to the deportation thing. But all I was saying was there are 7 industries. Well, there are 7 priorities that revolve around industries and tax cuts and all of that stuff in order for you to understand what some of his priorities are. And if these things happen, there's going to be a lot of wealth created by somebody. Why not you and me? So deportation. What was number 2? I got deportation. I had tariffs. We had financial services, deregulation. What else we had? What was number 4? Let me see here. Let me see if I got it in my phone. I knew I was gonna forget them. But they're in the video, but I got them in the phone here. Let me find them here. I think I got them in the phone. Well, I had them in the phone. I don't have them in the phone anymore. So, but watch the video. They're in the video. I did it this morning. Just go to the video. But I think they're deportation, tariffs, financial services, deregulation, space exploration, oil and gas, deregulation. What we had, that's 5. And then you had tax cuts is number 6. There's one more. That's 6 of them. Deportation, tariffs. I can't remember the other one, but they're in the video, so go check those out. I gave you 6 of them. I can't remember the other one. So let's get back because I'm about ready to get out of here. But please, Maurice, go check out that video again. But my point was of making the video was so that you guys knew, my YouTube audience knows here are some of his priorities, and be looking for companies that benefit from these priorities. And like Lord only knows said, the deportation is, you got the U.S. government, you got ICE, right? And you got the U.S. government, but they contract this stuff out to companies, like for detention, which Lord only knows spoke to the detention piece, the transportation piece. A lot of this stuff is contracted out to companies in the private sector. So if you got, I'm just throwing out a number. Let's say you got $500 billion set aside for deportation. And $400 billion of that is going to be given to private companies to orchestrate this whole thing. Well, wouldn't you want to be, well, not everybody, I know Lord only knows is not going to be invested in any of those. But some of us, or some of y'all, may want to invest in some of these companies that may get that $400 billion. That makes sense. I get this kind of money coming in on a consistent basis. My revenue goes up, my profits go up, my stock price goes up. Same thing around the tariffs. And we talked about that earlier. Who benefits from tariffs? American companies that are in America that make their products in America. They will benefit. Find those companies. Who benefits from deregulating banks? Banks. Wall Street. They profit from that, from deregulation, right? Same thing with oil and gas. Who profits from the deregulation of oil and gas? Oil and gas companies. They profit. Less regulation, the more they can do, the more money they can make. Right? Same with tax cuts. Who benefits from tax cuts? Investors and businesses. They take the money that they save on the tax cuts and they buy back stock of their company, which makes their company more valuable. Less stock that's outstanding The more they own, the more valuable the company becomes. If I'm a shareholder, the fewer shares on the street means my shares that are on the street that I own are more valuable now. So take a look at the video. It goes through everything for you, all 7 of them, but I appreciate you mentioning that, Maurice. All right, let's move on. Let's see if we got anybody else in here with a question. I know I said I was going to end at 9:30. We're at 9:45. We definitely got to be out of here by 10. So let's go ahead and see if we got anything left. If we got any other little questions that popped in while I was going through this. We had quite a few of them, though. But let's see if we got anything else before I get out of here. Greetings. When a financial advisor is needed. Greetings. When do you need a financial advisor? Well, I mean, you need one if you want someone who can, take your money and invest it for you. You're not comfortable investing it on your own. You're not comfortable making those decisions, right? You go get your financial advisor and they will take your money and walk you through what they're getting ready to do or what they propose to do. If you say, yeah, go ahead and do it, then they do it. But they're responsible for taking the money. They'll have it at their company and they will invest it for you. If you're that type of person that doesn't want to invest on their own, which is called self-directed, you need a full service brokerage company to do your investing for you, then you go get yourself a financial advisor. That's when you need one, when you need help. You're not comfortable doing it on your own. You want somebody there to help you. That's a financial advisor, and they have to meet they got to have certain licenses and designations. Like they got to have a Series 7. Some of them have a 60. No, some of them have a 7. Some of them have a CFP, and all other different destinations depend. All type of things that they have to have depending upon what their specialty is. So yeah, if you don't want to do it on your own and you feel like you want somebody to help you, then yeah, you go get your financial advisor. Go to your local bank, go to your local credit union, sit down with the people at the bank and the credit union and let them know that you need a financial advisor. They're going to ask you some questions, and then they normally will pair you with somebody that can act as your financial advisor. So yeah, that, in my opinion, that's what you would do if you want help and you don't want to be on the hook doing it yourself. So hopefully that answered that question. Nancy O. Richard, thanks for all your support. Following Blueprint 1.0, I've been buying SPLG, FTEC, and MAG ETFs. However, I just realized, though, the group chat last week that I've been making a mistake by buying the MAG's ETF instead of the individual stocks of the MAG. My question is, should I sell the MAG's ETF and use that money to invest in the MAG 7 individual stocks, or should I leave the ETF as it is and just started buying the MAG 7 individual stocks going forward? Nancy, great question. It just depends on what you want to do. Personally, for me, I just don't see paying the expense ratio when I can just buy the same myself. Now, again, that depends on your comfort level. Me, I don't need to buy an ETF when I know, these are the 7 companies. All I got to do is, if I'm putting $1,000 a month in them, I divide it by 7. That'll give me equal amounts. And then I use the fractional share trading option on Moomoo to buy them. Pretty simple to me. I don't need no ETF for that. Not personally, not for me. Now, if you like the idea of not having to sit and divide by 7 and do all the work yourself, and you just rather just put the $1,000 in the ETF and let the ETF do all of that, allocate it how they want to allocate it, that's different. So that's another thing about the ETF. It's going to allocate that $1,000 the way they want to allocate it based on what the fund is. Now, what if I want it to be equally? You're not going to get that in the ETF. The ETF is not going to be equally weighted. It may put 30% of it in NVIDIA. It might put 5% of it in Apple. It's going to divide it up the way it want to divide it up. But your $1,000 will be in there, but it won't be the way you want it divided. The way I do it individually is it's equally divided into 7, divided by 7. So whatever that number is, each one of those, $140 something will go into that, each one of them equally, as opposed to the fund taking my $1,000 and divide it up how they want to divide it up. That's a difference. Plus you got an expense ratio on top of that they charge you for having the money in the fund. And normally with these startups, these little ETFs done popped up for the Mag 7 are startups, it's a pretty heavy fee. The expense ratio is pretty heavy. But again, if the value's there for you and you like doing it that way, continue doing it that way. It's just not something that I see I need to be paying them an expense ratio for 7 stocks. I mean, if it was 700, that's different. 300, that's different. 100, that's different. But 7 companies, I already know what 7 they are. I just do it myself. But that's just me. You have to make that decision for yourself. But yeah, so good question though. Renice Taylor. Hey, Renice, how you doing? Hey, Richard and Wealth Builders. Fam, question. I purchased FTEC and SPLG for long-term gains for the next 5 years. However, is it a somewhat good strategy to take some profits at least once per year and just repurchase before the dips happen, since the market changes every day? Lastly, do you invest in mutual funds for long term? Thanks for being a blessing to us all. Hey, great question, Renice. Again, y'all know me, I'm timing the market instead of trying to time the market. And I just think it's so important. If we're building wealth long term, we need that compounding. So instead of me, but again, this is just my strategy. Y'all do what y'all want to do. But instead of me trying to time the market and cash out and then try to reinvest when the dips come and all that, I don't do all that. I just let it ride. I put it in every single month, reinvest the dividends so I can get the maximum compounded growth. I don't want no disruptions in my compounding. See, if I go to take it in once a year, put it back in the next year, I'm getting a disruption in my compounding. I don't get the full effect of the compounding, the magic. The magic is when I just let it continue to grow on top of each other. So what I did last year is already in there. It grows. Oh, just keep growing. That's that compounding effect. So for me, no, I don't cash nothing out. I just keep buying until I reach my goal. Now for you, if you feel like it's appropriate to cash out, then do it. It's your wealth building process, right? For me, it's not the best thing to do because I understand the power of long-term compounding. If I disrupt that, I'm losing. I'm losing momentum. Instead of me getting there faster, I'm getting there slower. If I disrupt my compounding, I'm slowing down the compounding. Because now I take the money out, all of a sudden the market rallies. I just missed valuable compounding. I missed it because my money ain't in the market. I'm waiting on the dip. Ain't no dip. It's running. I'm missing all of that. Why? Because I'm waiting on the dip. I done took my money out, wait on the dip. But I'm missing this growth. But if I leave the money in there, and this is just my strategy, guys, I leave the money in there and I just allow it to compound and don't take it out. What I will do is, if I want to buy the dip, I will build up me a reserve fund from side hustles, whatever I need to do to build up me some reserve money. And that's what I will buy the dip with. But I never disrupt the DCA. I never disrupt the ABB. Always be buying. DCA, CPA, ABB. I never disrupt those 3 things. I will have money on the sideline for the dip. That's why I got to be laser focused, thinking like a wealthy person, so that I understand, oh, shoot, okay, I got home from work. I got 3 or 4 hours a day that I can just build me a side hustle. This is how the wealthy think. They use their time to multiply money. They don't use their time to just be a consumer. See, a lot of us, we use our free time and, we are consumers. We don't know nothing about producing or investing when we're not working because we sit around and be consumers. No, 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 no. When you think like a wealthy person, you don't sit around and be a consumer. I'll sit around and be a consumer and watch TV and play dominoes and play checkers and all this other stuff people do. I'll do that when I get to the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. But until I get to that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, ain't no checkers, ain't no dominoes, ain't no golf. I'm just wired like that. You guys may need all that stuff. I don't. I need the freedom. So all I'm telling you is the DCA, the ABB, the CPA, I never disrupt it. What I will do with my free time is I will build me a side hustle to create me some extra cash. I'll buy the dip with that extra cash. And then with that dip money, if I want to move it in and out, I'll do that with the dip money. But I'm not going to do it with the DCA money. That's my long-term plan. I can't disrupt the compounding. If I move that money out and I miss a valuable compounding week, I just set myself back 2 years. So I can't disrupt that, Renice. What I will do, if I want to play in and out of the market, I go build me a little side hustle fund, and I'll use that to play in and out of the market. But I'm not going to use plan A to play inside and out trying to be an expert. No, 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 no. I'm going to let the ETFs be the expert, and I'm going to stay in them until I reach my goal, period. Point blank. So hopefully my explanation of what I do helps you make a right decision for you and yours. All right, Derek Toyer. What's up, Richard? This is my first year investing in stocks. So will I be taxed on the stocks I have? In 2007, I invested in real estate. I had 4 properties and was trying to rent them out, not knowing people was losing their jobs. And so in 2008, the economy crashed. I could not afford to keep them, had to go through foreclosure and bankruptcy. Today, I cleared all my debts. I would like to go back investing in real estate. What is your opinion on that? Number one, with your investments, your paper assets, I don't know your whole situation, whether you buying and selling, or you just buying and just holding them long term, then there won't be any real capital gains if you're not selling anything. Now, you may get a 1099 for some dividends, but then that's why I encourage you guys to get you a real tax professional, a real accountant to help you with your tax returns. Because all you got to do then is when that 1099 comes for those dividends, just give them to the CPA or the tax professional along with the rest of your stuff when they're doing your 1040 tax return and they got you covered. Now, you will have to pay you may or may not have to pay tax on some of the capital gains and or dividends. You may or may not, depending upon, what your deductions are and your income and all that. The CPA will tell you that, or your tax professional. But typically, though, if in my portfolio, when I'm investing dollar cost averaging, and I'm not selling nothing in the blueprint 1.0, 2.0, I ain't selling nothing. I'm just putting money in. I don't get no gains. What I get is a 1099 at the end of the year for my dividends. Even though I reinvest them, it's still considered a form of investment income. Right? Even though I don't take the money and put it in my pocket, I reinvest it. They look at that as me making a decision to reinvest that money. So then I do get a 1099. Now it's taxed differently, and I ain't no expert in all that. My CPA handles all that. But that I will get. The only time I get a true capital gain 1099 off of investments that I purchased and I've sold, either I made money or lost money, I will get that 1099. I give that to my CPA too. But the only time I get that is if I actually sold some of those investments. Like with my shorts I talked about earlier. I'm going to get a real 1099 capital gain for those. Whatever the taxes are, after my CPA work is magic, whatever's left and I got to pay, I just write them a check. That's simple. So I strongly encourage folks to get around somebody that is a tax professional that can help you with some of this stuff. That's just my recommendation. Now, as far as your real estate, I talked about that earlier in the live. I think it's a great opportunity to buy real estate if you're qualified. That's the key, though. Got to be qualified. It sounds like you've gotten yourself back to a point where you're qualified. What does qualified mean? Verifiable income, good credit score with no major derogs, no minor derogs, down payment money. That's qualified. If you meet those 3 criteria for the bank, then you're qualified. And yes, if I wanted to buy real estate for income, I would be buying right now. I don't want to buy none right now, so I don't. I make enough money in paper assets. I don't need no real estate right now. I don't. So I'm not going to stretch myself to do it if I don't have to. See, I'm not married to the stock market. I'm not married to real estate. I'm not married to any of this stuff. What I want to do is find the easiest, simplest, fastest way for me to get to the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And right now, for me, that's paper assets. Number one, man, I ain't nothing right now can touch it. Not for me. I don't do crypto or none of that stuff. So the only thing I'm telling you that does better than the market right now for me is my business. But of course, I'm active in the business. I got to do something for that. Paper assets ain't got to do nothing but push the button. And it just keep growing. It just keep growing. It's push the button. Put money in it, push the button, and keep growing. I got to actively participate in this business. Now, it generates good living, but I got to actively participate in it. With my stock market portfolio, it's passive. I ain't got to do too much. Now, a little activity with the shorts, but very little. Okay, $8 a share, ServPro. Put this money in and just wait till it go up to $13 a share. That's all the activity I do in ServPro. No, let me go do a deep dive. Let me go. I don't do any of that. All I do is $8 in that $8 range. I purchase it and I wait. Does that guarantee I'm gonna make any money? No. But history tells me it's gonna go back up. Why? They tied to NVIDIA. They're a good little company. They're tied to Uber. Right? NVIDIA and Uber are 2 big investors in that company. I don't think NVIDIA would have their money in that company if they didn't believe it was a company that could grow and do well. So I don't need to do a whole lot of fact finding. See, this is why I don't need to do all that. NVIDIA already did it. Uber already did it. That don't mean they're perfect, but NVIDIA bought 10% of the company. They own 3.7 million shares. So pretty big investment to me. So if they did the due diligence and they comfortable with it and they still in it, I keep buying it. $8 a share, I buy in, $8, somewhere in that 8 range. It could be from $8 a share. It could be from $8.99 down. I'm going to buy it. Maybe even at $9 a share, I'll get in. Because I know at some point it's going to go up just like it just did again, guys. It did it again. 2 months ago, it was in the 8s. This thing got all the way up to like $18, $19 a share last week. Just saying. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do. But that generates a 1099. I give it to my CPA. I pay the taxes. My long-term stuff, only thing I'm going to get is a 1099 for my retirement stuff. I ain't going to get nothing. And that's where the bulk of my long-term wealth build is in my retirement accounts. So I don't get nothing for that because it's in the retirement account. So I don't get nothing. But the money that I have in NVIDIA, I got about 2,800 shares in NVIDIA outside of the retirement account. 2,800 shares outside of the retirement account. And then, of course, I got SPLG, FTEC, MAG 7. Some of that's outside of the retirement account, too. But I don't get no gains on none of that because I don't sell none of it. What I will get is the dividend income little thing they send you 1099. I'll get that. And I just give it to my CPA. So hopefully that answered your question, Derek. Fire sign, what's up? Currently, I do have several different brokerage accounts, yet pertaining to some credit card debt. I was possibly considering using a debt management company to lower interest rates, fees, and pay off those credit cards. Therefore, what are your thoughts about the potential adverse effects on a credit report when using a debt management company? You know, for me, guys, I wouldn't use no debt management company. I would look at to see what my credit card debt is, and then I just go out and get me a second job. I just get me a side hustle, second job, and just work my tail off for 2 or 3 straight months, no sleep, no nothing, and bang it out and be done. Now, if it's $50,000 worth of credit card debt, and I just can't do it. For me personally, I'm not gonna do no consolidation. I'm gonna go to the credit card company or whoever I owe, and I'm gonna say, hey, you got two choices. I'm just giving it to you real. And I'm not telling y'all to do this. I'm just telling you what I would do if I'm in a dire situation. I'd go to the credit card company and say, here's your choice. You can settle for pennies on the dollar, and I'll pay you out over a certain period of time, or you got to do what you got to do. I mean, for me, the debt consolidation thing, I've just all the people that I've talked to have just not been any good stories. It's not been good. Plus, your credit is going to be ruined anyways, even with the debt management, because they're going to tell you not to pay them anymore. So your credit going to be ruined anyways. And then you got this debt management company over here. Now you got to pay fees and all this other stuff too. So for me, I'd rather just go straight to the credit card companies and say, hey, here's my situation. I can't pay y'all all of this. Would you consider a lesser amount? And if they say, yeah, Richard, you owe us $8,000, we'll take, this is what I would do. I'd go to them and say, hey, I owe y'all $8,000, but I'm willing to give you 10 cents on the dollar. I'd start there and then negotiate with them. If they agree, let's say they agree with 30% on the dollar. Instead of me giving them $8,000, I give them $2,400. I say, okay, I'll give you the $2,400, but I need 12 months. And I need you to put it in writing and send it to me before I agree to it. I need you to send it in writing. I don't want none of your people on the phone. Send it to me in writing. And then that's what I would do. Now, some of y'all, don't talk to them, because if you talk to them, at that point, you're charged off. Number one, it's already on your credit. So whether you pay them or not, it's on your credit. Now, they might zero it out, but it's still a derogatory. It's still a charge off on your credit for 7 years. Now, I'm not telling people not to pay their bills and not. All I'm telling you is you do have some rights. And what I would do is I would just negotiate with them, because that's all the debt management company is going to do. That's all they're going to do on your behalf. But you don't fix the credit. The credit is still ruined. So why not I just negotiate on my own behalf without paying these guys all this money? Now, on my website, I got a credit repair, credit restoration digital product. It ain't the end all be all, but it's a good 50 pages of what you need to do in order to repair your credit on your own. And it gives you all these things you can do. See, the problem with us a lot of times here in America, we don't want to do nothing on our own. We don't want to go through the pain. We want quick fixes. What do you mean I got to read a 50-page document and then I got to do all the work? I don't want to do that. I want to pay this guy $1,000 and let him do it. Problem is you don't learn nothing. So what do? You pay him $1,000. You get it kind of fixed up. 6 months, 10 months, 12 months, 18 months, you're right back in the same boat. Why? Because you ain't learned nothing. You didn't change no behavior. That's our problem in this country. We want a quick fix. And I'm not saying you, Fireside, I'm just in general. In general, people just want to fix quick. I mean, they want a quick fix. They don't want to say, well, okay, let me take this document right here and go through and learn something and make sure I don't repeat this again. We don't want that. We want to give somebody $1,000, $1,500 and make it go away. And if it does go away, 12, 18 months, we're back in the same boat. Why? Because we ain't changed no behavior. We still got the same bad behavior. So all I'm saying is, personally for me, I just do it myself. There's enough tools online that you can do this yourself. You can negotiate with these people yourself. And there are tools that tell you exactly how to negotiate with them. They got two choices: negotiate with me or don't get paid. I don't know what else you can do. You can't get blood from a turnip. I mean, I don't know what you're going to do. Can't be on here forever. The law says you got to take it off after 7. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is, and I'm not trying to tell people to skirt anything. I'm just saying a lot of times we don't learn nothing. We don't fix the actual problem. We treat the symptom, but we don't fix the problem, right? We just toy around with the symptom. We don't get to the root cause of the problem. We don't solve that. So we get back in the same problem, the same boat. For me personally, I wouldn't use no debt management company, but fire sign, you can do whatever you believe you need to do because it's your deal. But me personally, I wouldn't use them. I'd go directly to the source myself, negotiate myself. You either negotiate with me or get it like Dracula got his in blood. That's all I can tell you. All right, let's keep going. White and bright. Good evening, successful, informed wealth builders. Happy New Year 2025, less than 30 hours away. Yes, sirski. Looking forward to it. Mr. Fain, please expound on all you know about cap gains rules. Is it best to convert gains at the beginning of the year or after? You are answering now. Thanks again. Okay, yeah, you got my answer. Yeah, again, y'all know that's a little too much for me. My little brain, I can't handle all this trying to figure out all that. I ain't got enough money. I ain't wealthy enough or rich enough to be worrying about no tax something harvesting and man, I don't do none of that. All I do is here's my 1099. What can I avoid? Not avoid, but what is it? No, yeah, avoid. What can I avoid? And what's the tax bill? Okay, Richard, you can avoid this. These are your deductions. Here's your tax bill. This is what you got to pay. No problem. Write the check, give it to Uncle Sam, go about my business. I don't worry about none of all this tax harvest betting and all. I don't make enough money, man. I ain't wealthy enough to worry about all that. I'm just not. Y'all might want to worry about it, but that's too much, man. I ain't got time for that. Because if something mess up and the IRS come after me, boy, I don't want to have nothing to do with them people. So whatever they charge me, whatever my bill is, trust me, I got a great CPA. I ain't paying no more than what I'm supposed to pay. Trust me. That's why I tell y'all, get you a good CPA to help you. You won't pay more than you need to pay. All right, it's 11. I got to get out of here. I'm not 11, but it's 10 something. I appreciate y'all wealth builders for rocking with me tonight. Thank y'all. This is our last live stream of 2024. Whoa, what an amazing year we've had. And goodness gracious, man, I wouldn't have wanted to do it with any other financial group than you guys. 2025 is gonna be a monster. It's gonna be a monster. So please get in the game. Please prepare. Please get yourself ready. It's gonna be a monster. And I'm gonna be here every step of the way with you. Every step of the way I'm gonna be here. Utilize me, DM me, get in the community chat, be a part of the live streams. Don't miss nothing. Just dedicate 2025 to prioritizing and thinking like the wealthy. Let's just make that our theme for 2025. We're gonna think like the wealthy and go get this wealth. A lot of wealth transfer happened in 2024. A lot more happening in 2025. Let's think like the wealthy and get our share of that wealth transfer. Like I said, I'm gonna be here every step of the way with you. Every step of the way. Appreciate y'all. Enjoy your New Year's Eve and your New Year's Day, because on January 2, we gotta be back in this thing 150 miles an hour. Okay? Can we agree on that? All right. All right, man. I'm out of here. I appreciate y'all. Keep chasing your greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. Y'all know to stay healthy, get wealthy. 2025, get wealthy. When life smiles at you, smile back. Peace.